This audio lecture by Rabbi Aharon Walkin Zatzal on the topic of Laws of Khadash, originally delivered in 2002, 5762 in the Hebrew calendar, is generously sponsored by Dr. Uriel Abayev and family, dedicated for the continued success and health of Uriel Abayev and family. May all their endeavors be guided by Hashem with love, harmony, and abundant blessing. Amen.
This is the Makar. This is where it comes from. Gimel Yudalid is the Makar for the Isra of Chadash.
What is Chadash?
You'll soon see.
Chadash is new. Yudalid? Yudalid.
Gimel Yudalid. It says like this. No, you're getting your Chumashim, you're moving, or...
No, but
Bring a Mishnah Challah quickly.
I have. It's good.
The Lechem. No?
Alright. Yudalid. Lechem Ekali. Mechar.
The Carmel.
Lo tofu.
Now, these are three things. Lechem, Kali, and Carmel. Lechem is bread. Kali and Carmel is the wheats before they're cooked, actually. So what they call that?
Well, they're right.
Grape nuts. Grape nuts cereal is Kali and Carmel.
What's the difference between the bread and these?
It's three different stages of it. The Lechem, the Kali, the Carmel.
Even better to say Kali first.
I don't know. We're not getting
Whatever,
it.
no?
Go ahead. The Lechem, the Kali, the Carmel, Lo Yisaychel. Go ahead. No? No? Tamshich. Es Aimer at Nuf. So all this is what? All this you don't eat until you bring the carbon. Ad aviyachem is carbon alokech. Until you bring the carbon. Which means the carbon aimer. So once we bring the carbon aimer,
And after that,
then Chadash becomes mutter. There's no Chadash anymore. It becomes all mutter.
but
right?
why need Yasha back in there?
Hey, calm down.
Till the carbon.
What the reason?
There's a problem of Chadash. What's the reason? So if you look at the Chinuch, he brings the reason that a person has to know it's from Hashem. Because otherwise you think that you've made it. You think that you planted it, everything is me, I, right? And very few people think it's Hashem. So therefore we come and we say that the Chadash, the new wheat, is only mutter once you bring the carbon. Now Kapanim is the Makar. The Lechem, the Kali, the Carmel, Lo Yisaychlu, Hadetzim Hayom Hazara V'Yachem, Es Karban Aloikech. Now, notice there's two Lishonot. It says, Ad Etzem Hayom Hazeh, till this day. What day are we talking about? The next day, the 15th, when we bring the carbon aimer. 16th. And then it says Ad Haviyachem, till you bring the carbon.
16th one.
The day. The day that you bring the carbon. So the Torah clearly defines for us two Tanayim, two conditions. Condition number one is Ad Etzem Hayom Hazeh, and the other one is Ad Haviyachem et Korban Elokech. So the Gemara explains that when we had the Korban, what's Matir the Chadash? The carbon. The day that we don't have the Korban, it's Ad Etzem Hayom Hazeh. The day. Hayom, right?
Until where we can eat Chadash.
So the whole thing is like this. The new wheat can be eaten after Pesach. So any wheat which grows after Pesach is mutter.
Of that year, you mean?
Right? Any wheat which grows after is mutter.
Which goes after or
after Pesach.
What Chadash? Since one is Chadash.
Then there's halacha of the carbon. In other words, you can't eat Chadash till the carbon.
Yeah.
Anything that grows after it is mutter anyway.
Why is mutter anyway?
It's after Pesach. It's the wheat from before.
I've got contribution before.
It has to be that it's Nishrach before. What do we go, boss? It's very simple. Any wheat, normally wheat you start in the beginning of the summer, the winter to whatever you do, then it starts to grow. It all becomes aser till you bring the carbon alitech.
Yeah.
Till you bring the carbon. Comes along the halacha in Chala in the Mishnah, Perik Aleph, Mishnah Aleph, and it says like this: Chamisha Dvarim Chayav Mechala. The different things which are chayav Mechala. Chita, Sa'ira, Kusmin, Shebay Lashul, Shifon, Harayelu, Chayavim B'chala. The Asurim B'chadash, Melifnei HaPesach. It's Asur Chadash Melifnei HaPesach, or Melikzer Melifnei HaOimer. In Mishrishu Kaidim Laimer, Haimer Matira. In Lab, Asur Machiava Haimer Abba. Then it becomes Asur till the next time. So which means is once the day comes, all the previous weeks that were here become mutter. All the previous weeks become mutter.
Until Sukkot week.
What?
Sukkot.
I'm saying till the next time you plant.
Whatever.
Till the next time you plant.
Whenever.
Whatever it is. So till the next time they start the new planting.
Those are the next point.
So let's take a look at the Rambam, how the Rambam passed this halach. Nope.
Right.
No, Machalos Asuris Perikut halacha base.
Kusha. That's the idea.
You'll soon see the importance of this mission. Very important mission.
Machalas Asuris which fact?
Machalos Asuris Perikut halacha base. Chamisha dvarim chayavim b'chala achitim asarim v'akus v'shul shifin asurim b'chadash. You see here the Mishnah calls it Chadash. The truth the Torah never said calls it Chadash. The Mishnah calls it Chadash. Take a look at the Rambam Machalas Asuris Perikut halacha base. There he tells you the Isra of Chadash, and let's read it. It says like this. Okay, Natan, today is your day. I'm going to give you as an introduction, because the Shaila of Chadash is Neged Bizman Hazeh is totally the technicality of the different Marmakaims that we bring. You'll soon see why. The different Mishnayos that we bring, you'll soon see. So again, Pasuk, you all know, right? So if someone comes over to you, at least you'll know what it is. What is it? The wheat, or wheat of the year, till the carbon oimer is Aser, and then it becomes mutter till the next growing of the year. How much like season? Next planting season. That's called Chadash. The new wheat is Aser. Now where do we get the word Chadash from? It's a Mishnah. It's a Mishnah in Chala, that Chamisha Dvar Machayavim B'Chala, the Chayim Chala to give Chala from it, that you take off a piece of the Chala, Asurim B'Chadash. So here the Mishnah calls it Chadash. Okay, glad. Read the Rambam. Yeah, no, read from the beginning.
So, Kol Shirim Shamru, and Bimnei Netbishkai. V'yesh Uturim Akarim, Shatorach, V'droa Haaretz Shen HaKadash. V'talai Hakem, Yala V'tedek.
Go ahead.
V'chadash Ketzad. Kol Echad,
So Chadash is, what does he call the Rambam? Is it halach in the land? What does he call it?
One part?
You give me the Rambam though. I want to show you what to read in the Rambam. Well, first let him read out. Hey, beginning that Peschaga. All these surim is live. Animal, kosher, not kosher. Yesh isurim acherim shel Torah b'zera ha'oretz. Keep in mind the word of the Rambam. B'zera ha'oretz. Zera ha'oretz means what? Things that grow from the ground. The Hain, Chadash, Chloya Kerem, Arla, and Tevel. All this is what? The ground. Which means our animal and ground. Different isurim, animal and ground. HaChadash Ketzad. Kol lechem mechamesh meaning tvu, which is our Mishnah. Aser lechem me'achadash loy kaidim shikar v'oimer, v'shisha aser b'nis shnemar, v'lechem v'kali v'charma loy soich. So the Rambam tells us, well, it's a lav, and now that it's a lav, you get malchus. Well, the cholzman, it's noyig all the time, which means bizman hazeh also. Even though today we don't have the carbon, the cholzman. And then the Rambam says, bein b'aretz, bein b'chutzlar. It's Zayin Eretz Yisrael, and Zayin Chutzlaretz, which we will soon see is a machlokes rishayim. If it's Negeh in Chutz La'aretz as well as Eretz Yisrael. What the Rambam Shita is, it's Bizman Hazeh, and it's the Chutz La'aretz also. So what's the difference between then and now? The times that it was based on, it's like I told you, the carbon is mat. Yeah. The carbon, you can eat it. And the faraway places, which you don't bring the carbon, it's mutar chatzais. Now why chatzais? She'ein bezdim esatzlim b'yach chatzais. L'maisa the oimer was never given till later than Chatzos. Lamela. Yeah, Lamela, which means they're not Messiah. God, it's to a whole day. The Bezin took care in Yerushalayim that everything was taken care of properly. That what? That the Omer was Nikram by Chatzos. So everybody else could start eating when? After Chatzos. As man she'ein mikdash. Today we don't have those. And we still the Rambam Paskins that it's also what? Even today, even Shaloi B'zman Abayis, Shaloi B'fnei Abayis, Kol HaYom Kol HaYosef and HaTorah. We have to wait the entire day. Well, B'zman Hazeh, Chayim Yishoyis Shnei Yomim, Chadash Asur Kol Yom Shiva Asur B'Nissen, Ad Le'erev M'divrei Sefer. Right, so now you have to wait till the 7th. That's what he said. We learn it for the day. No, but L'maisi Yom HaNaf Kol HaYosef. That's what the Gemara is Darish. L'maisi, even though it says Ad Etzem HaYom Hazeh, but the Maisa, we learn out Yom HaNaf Kol HaYosef. So more So with every service, you have the second day. You don't know which day it is. The Sveik in the Yom, you can't wait for. You have to wait for 17. Since you have a Sveik in the Yom, today we don't know when 16 is. Whatever, Sveik in the Yom. Whatever, it's the Sveik in the Yom. Cause the Sveik in the Yom. It's Asur Chadash Asur Kol Yom Shiva Asur B'Nisna Ad Le'erev M'divrei Sefer. So this is the Rambam sheet. It's Nayig, Sai B'zman, Hazeh, Sai B'zman, times the base. It's also Nayig, what? Sai in Eretz Sai in Chutz La'aretz. Tur Shulchan Aruch Yedeya, Reish Sad Gimel, Aleph. Yeah, quickly. Reish Sad Gimel, Aleph. Avim, Lishmor, V'lachmir, Shelo Le'echol Chadash B'zman Hazeh. That's the question. Men Eretz Yisrael also made.
Yeah.
We're not in Beis Hamikdash. We'll see. Final analysis. And by the way, we'll show you our Lutzion, Rabbi Shol's Posek, somewhere in the middle. People don't know. He's very interesting Psak. He's Posek somewhere in the middle. We're going to do a Psak of his thing. Very interesting Psak Halacha today. So you have to understand what it is. I'm not sure exactly myself what he means there, but we'll work on it today. We'll work on it. Reish Sad Gimel.
Tour?
Yeah, sure. Tur Shulchan Aruch, Reish Sad Gimel. Kali V'charmel is the pasuk. Lo Zoichlu ad etzem hayom hazeh ad havyachem es karben omer. So it's two Tanayim. How do we separate the Tanayim? If it's the carbon, then it's not ad etzem hayom hazeh. The teretz is, depends. If there's a carbon, it's ad havyachem. If there's no carbon, then it's ad etzem hayom. Good, bring. Ad etzem hayom. What is it? Oh, this is the fancy ones here. Gita. Okay, so you remember, if someone asks you what's the Rambam Shita, it's very simple. Actually, it's not that simple. You see how difficult it is. But what is it? It's everywhere, everything, all the time. You can't go wrong, right? Hakol, tamid, eiz zman shelo yeh, eiz makom shelo yeh. Hakol, what? Hakol, asur. In that Torah midrabanan, the Rambam's not mechal. It's mashmas from that Torah. Yeah. The Rambam says clearly. Same is it's all the same thing according to the Rambam. So it's minat Torah. Comes along the Torah, Shulchan Aruch, and he paskins as follows. Ksiv, v'lecha v'kali v'charma lo yisoichlu ad etzem hayom hazeh. She'atzur lecha mitruas chodesh aminim, which is the Mishnah Chal, I tell you. Ad she'yikarei v'oimer shehu b'shisha she'b'nis. V'isr zeh nohig, bein b'zman habayis, bein shaloi b'zman habayis. Bein be'eretz Yisrael, bein b'chutz la'aretz.
Same thing as the Rambam.
But he adds, bein b'shal Yisrael, bein b'shal God. Say a Jew and say a God.
Goy also?
Goes wheat.
Goy's wheat. Goy's wheat. And we're soon going to see, this is where the complications arise. A, there's not Hazeh, which the Rambam says Deraisa. The Torah says, bein b'shal Yisrael, bein b'shal Goy. The Deraisa and the Drapon. It's mashma weiter what in the Torah? Deraisa. So b'shal Goy. A Goy's wheat. Your next door neighbor, you hear? Your guy's the next door neighbor, the wheat. It's chutz la'aretz. It's Goy. Rambam and Tur will say that it's what? It's midday rice. This is Chadash midday rice.
Rambam also.
Rambam doesn't say Goy. I'm saying the deraisa of Chutz La'aretz, and then the tour.
Same deraisa, not chul.
Same deraisa. Let's take a look now in Shulchan Aruch, how the Shulchan Aruch passes. So Shulchan Aruch, in Seif Hilchos Pesach, famous Shulchan Aruch. That's what.
Okay.
No problem. You got to be on the ball. We should soon get you one. But
Who it's in Shulchan
you
Aruch?
have a chin. The end of Sfir Saimir, the last seif is Sfir Saimir. Which is tough. It's tough. Kisa Shel Barzel, Chitim, Matzah, Tapayin Gimel, I think it's Tapayin Gimel, no? Tapayin Dalit, Tapayin Hey, Tapayin Vav, say the Shlishi, it's
Which one?
Tapayin Tes. Asur Lechel, Chadash. Asur Lechel, Chadash. You're not allowed to eat Chadash, right? You're not allowed to eat Chadash. Af bisman hazeh.
Let's see.
Chav pei tes sif yud. Asur lechel Chadash. Af bisman hazeh. Ben lechem, ben koli, ben charmel. At chilas leil yud ches. Now why chilas leil yud ches? Because it's fact of Yaima that the Yud Zayin is asur. Well, there it's Israel, because we don't know which day it's used as well. The Zayin. You know.
You read that Israel?
Oh, but in Eretz Yisrael, Apilas Leil Yud Zayin V'Nis. Also Lechel. Now here, you could start playing games. Maybe it's Midrabona.
Why?
Who says Deraisa?
Why?
So Bishleim in the Chaber. Now let's see. Bishleim in the Rambam. The Rambam starts with the Pasuk, and he explains me the Isser, and he explains Bizman Hazeh. The Tur Viter also starts with the Isser, and he explains me the Isser, and he continues Bizman Hazeh and a guy. It just says also lecha. Also lecha could also mean what? The Drabbana. Let's tell you the halacha psuka.
Sorry, that's fine.
Yeah, no, there's no fact. We don't have more than that. I don't mean.
I'm saying
I don't mean the dike one way over the other. Well, you see, it's also lecha. Could be Drabbana as well, and we'll soon see that many shittas Rishayim and Achrayin attack a paskin. If there's an isser, it's only Drabbana anyway. In Shulchan Aruch, it's not clear. Shulchan Aruch. Asur lechel Chadash. Af bisman hazeh, bein lachem, bein kali, bein karmel. Meraisa d'Rabbanan, there's no direction here in the Shulchan Aruch one way or the other. Which leads the Paiskim to start asking,
what's Av Bisman Hazeh started? Does not matter to the rest?
no, because you would say maybe it's not a gay bisman hazeh b'chlal. Maybe they didn't answer bisman hazeh. What's the answer to this? Af bisman hazeh, it's also. You don't see more than that it's also.
Yeah.
There's no hechach as in a Torah midrabanan, and we'll soon see the significance of this in Psak Halacha L'Mais. Okay. So we have again the Rambam, the Tur, and the Shulchan Aruch. Where does this all come? What's the Makar? So there's a Mishnah in Orlo, a Stam Mishnah in Orlo, Stam Mishnah. That Chadash is Noyig Bisman Hazeh in Chutz La'aretz. Ursha Mishnah in Orlo.
Zone base. Yeah, you have it.
Right here, it's right here.
You got some time.
There it is. Hechadush Asur, the last line in Mesechtes Arla. The last line. Now listen carefully, because I'm telling you, it's very important. I condensed for you the whole blah that you have about Chadash. After you've finished this year, you'll sit down, you'll learn the Mishnah Berurah, and you'll see what the Mishnah Berurah is talking about. Mishnah Berurah is coming already after the whole Marmakaimis. You did the Mishnah Berurah, but you see, this is we're coming from the other end. We're starting from the beginning. Then you see the Mishnah Berurah, you'll see where everything comes from. Orla, you hear? Says the Mishnah. I'm sorry, Chadash. Chadash. Asur min ha-Torah l'chol makom. Stam Mishnah. Nobody argues. You know what a Stam Mishnah means?
But you said our day.
No, slowly. There's no machlokes, no? Orla is asur min ha-Torah l'chol makom.
Orla or Chadash?
I'm sorry, Chadash. Sorry. So you have to remember one thing. I want to tell you, Cloud.
Sorry.
Thursday morning, you know that you can't be. You can't. You know what a Stam Mishnah is? Means that nobody argues. The derech klal, when you have a Stam Mishnah, halacha, the Stam Mishnah. So then when it says b'chol makai, so then it turns into a Stam Mishnah that in Chutz La'aretz, Chadash Asur, but not Stam Asur. Asur Meha Torah. Asur Meha Torah B'chol Makom. Asur Meha Torah B'chol Makom. Now, you want to know Bizman Hazeh, not Bizman Hazeh? We'll soon see Cheshbonis and Rishonim. Could we tie in the fact that it's Asur B'chol Makom in Chutz La'aretz, where there's no carbon, to Bizman Hazeh that there's also no carbon? We'll soon see. Hagam, the Mishnah says what? That it's what? Asur min ha-Torah, Chutz La'aretz, and it's not talking about Bizman Hazeh. Same way that in Chutz La'aretz we don't have the carbon. And when I say we don't have a carbon, which means a Mivian. We'll soon see it's I mean, again, I don't want to give you too much too quickly because then you'll get confused later. We'll soon see if this B'chol Makom ties in B'chol Makom even Bizman Hazeh for us, fight because we don't have a carbon today. We'll see this as we go along with Rishai. But remember the cloud. We have over here a Stam Mishnah that says clearly, Stam Mishnah, nobody argues, it's Asur min ha-Torah B'chol Makom. There's a Mishnah in Kedushin that there's a machlokes about this shayla. First a Mishnah in Kedushin, that Lamed Zayin and Aleph, bringing Martin in Mishnah Kedushin, machlokes two Tanoim. You look over there in the Gemara is Marich to explain the two Tanoim, but whatever it is, there's a machlokes, two Tanoim. Yeah. In Kedushin, in Chadash, is Asur in Chutz La'aretz. Chadash is Asur in Chutz La'aretz. Lamed Zayin and Aleph. Here it is. It says like this. Here. Kol mitzvah shitluya ba'aretz, eino neheges ela ba'aretz. Any mitzvah which is Eretz Yisrael.
What do you mean, like what?
Tluya b'Eretz Yisrael. All the mitzvah. Ma'asos, Trumas, it's Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
Ela ba'aretz. She'eino tluya ba'aretz. Neheges bein ba'aretz bein b'chutz la'aretz. Chutz min ha'arla u'klayim. Arla and Klayim is not even a Chutz La'aretz. What about Chadash? Mashma. Chadash is not knowing in Chutz La'aretz. There's a Omer Afa Chadash. So there's a machlokes in the Mishnah. You'll see the Gemara. It's a long Gemara. I should read homework over there. It's a long piece of Gemara. The Bryce, it's nice, it's after you'll see it's a whole Gemara over here. Talk upon him. There's a machlokes in the Mishnah. So over here we have a Stam Mishnah. And over here we have what? We have a machlokes. Stam Mishnah and a machlokes.
No?
What?
Machlokes.
So here we have machlokes Tanoim, here we have Stam Mishnah.
Yeah.
Before I even tell you a little more Marmar Kaitis, what could be the problem? Klalo says machlokes v'achakach Stam. That's Stam v'achakach machlokes.
Pita machlokes no live. No,vat kemasechet, no val no kedushin and chala or.
What is that?
It's Stam, no?
Machlokes Stam is not. It's only the time that there's no.
I don't know what you know.
It's only certain of the Stamach from Israel to Kedushin so Stamach. The problem is the klalim of what? Of Stam v'achakach machlokes. They have very problem. Why? Which Mishnah was taught? Depends which Mishnah was taught first.
Yeah. So that's good.
In the same Masechta, you know which Mishnah was taught first.
Yeah.
But from Arla to Kedushin, who knows which? Maybe they learned Kedushin first.
Yeah, we don't say it.
So that's the Shaila.
Yeah.
And where does this question come from? It comes from Chadash. That's the makar of this question. The Rishonim that argue, do we say from Arla, from Zrayim to Noshin, machlokes v'achakach Stam, is totally in this Shaila. It's totally by Chadash. That's where it comes from. Because by Chadash we have a Stam Mishnah, and then we have a machlokes in Masechtas Kedushin. So are we to say machlokes v'achakach Stam, and here the Stam is before the machlokes, so therefore we count it out because the Stam has to come after.
Yeah.
What's the Sham machlokes v'achakach Stam? We have an argument, and then later the next 5 pages we find the Stam Mishnah. So obviously the Tanaim are telling us that machlokes, the answer is this. Let's say you have a machlokes, 5 pages later the Stam Mishnah. The Tanaim are telling us you should know that this machlokes, this is the Psak Halacha. But if it works the other way around, that the Stam is first, doesn't count. Here the Stam is first.
Stam of the Mishnah.
Stam of the Mishnah is first, but you don't know, maybe this Stam was really taught where? After.
Yeah, Bryson and Kedushin.
The Mishnah.
But was du fühlen was doch schad.
In the same Masechta, you can say machloket v'achar stam, and if it's stam v'achar machloket, since this is royim, and this is nashim, so maybe the first division could we come and say stam v'achar machlokes, or do we say that it has the same halach as machlokes v'achar? Okay, listen. Now, if you take a look in Menachos Pei Dalet, Amud Aleph, we'll bring a shita of Rabbi Yossi. Shita's Rabbi Yossi. What? We don't know. That's the machlokes Rishonim. It's going to be a machlokes Rishonim. Meaning like this: if you learn that this stam is after this,
so you go past this.
then we pass like this. This becomes a psak halacha.
Yeah.
And if not, I don't know if we don't know yet. There's three ways how to learn it. Either it is or it isn't, or it's a suffix that is or it isn't. We pass to sub. We don't know, and therefore it becomes a suffix.
If it's up, so how paskin?
We suffix. Huh? We'll talk about that. I said I don't want to give out too much yet. Believe there's plenty to go. There's plenty of pages here. We have plenty of what to do today. Go in order. Remember. So again, so if someone asks you chutz la'aretz, remember the Mishnah in Arla, and remember the machlokes in Kedushin. And soon we're going to see the Shaila of Kedushin could be said what, after Arla or before Arla? If it's after Arla, then there's no raya that's stam v'achar machlokes. Machlokes v'achar stam. And if Arla to be said that it was after Kedushin, then we have a machlokes v'achar stam, and this becomes halacha l'maisa. There's a Peladic Gemara in Menachos, Pei Dalet Amud Aleph. In Menachos Pei Dalet Amud Aleph, there's a Shitas Rabbi Yossi. And Shitas Rabbi Yossi is that Omer is Ba Michutz La'aretz. Omer is Ba Michutz La'aretz. Which is what? Like this Shita of the Mishnah that it's Ba Michutz La'aretz. I'm sorry, no. That Chadash is also in Chutz La'aretz. That Chadash is also in Chutz La'aretz. What's it totally on? So we don't know yet why. You see, this seems to be a machlokes. Meaning, yes and no. Is it michutz or it's not michutz? But the whys we didn't get to yet. What's the tzad that it is that Chadash is also chutz la'aretz? We still didn't say yet. Pasha Pshat is because when it says in the pasuk, "Yimay Seicha," right? What does it say in the pasuk? The Chol Moshe said, "Melecha v'kali v'chama lo yisaychlu." And that's right. Right? Read the pasuk. Read the pasuk.
The pasuk.
The lechem.
Where is it, Rabbi?
Yes.
Here. תאכלו עד עצם היום הזה, עד הביאכם את קורבן אלוהיכם, וחת עולם לדורותיכם בכל מושבותיכם.
What's B'chol Moshe Yisrael?
Even Eretz Yisrael?
Oh, so either B'chol Moshe Yisrael means Eretz Yisrael is Moshav, it's not, or it means to say B'chol Moshe Yisrael. That would be the pasuk before anything. The Menachos comes to the brainstorm. What's a Menachos? The Menachos we see in Yisrael. Wherever you bring the carbon omer from, the male, therefore, the Suadin, it becomes awesome. So Rabbi Yossi paskins, since the omer is ba michutz la'aretz, so behechrech, good. You can bring omer michutz.
You can bring America and you don't bring Latin case. There's nothing from America.
Exactly. The Lamaisa, right? The Lamaisa, since you could bring the omer.
Yeah, you could. Since it's not, you don't even see it. No. So
since you could bring the carbon omer from these places, says Rabbi Yossi, behechrech Chadash is awesome.
Yeah.
From those places.
Everywhere.
We tie it together. That's what in Menachos Rabbi Yossi says paid out. Meaning, why since it's the matter of it,
yes,
so if I could bring from it, it must be the matter for it. No, but understand, it's this wheat that I bring courageous of the wheat. It's like a truma to the wheat. Understand that the carbon iron is like a truma to this wheat.
Yeah.
I can't bring truma from one wheat on another wheat. We know this from even in the same field you can't bring. You can't bring truma from one place to another place. It has to be the truma of that wheat. So there's a halacha ben asamach. If there's a halacha of omer ba michutz la'aretz, says Rabbi Yossi, so
gotta be awesome.
It has to be awesome. As he's up to Rabbi Yossi. The tell of all this is the Rambam Shita. I want you to take a look at the Rambam in Tvidim Musaf Perik Zayin Halacha Hey. Because we just learned the Rambam that says what? That there is Omer from what? There is Chadash from Chutz La'aretz. We just learned it, right? The Rambam sheet is Chadash. The Rambam in Tvidim Musaf and Pasuk is clearly Perik Zayin Halacha Hey.
But this Gemara, can bring from this Makuma, but this from everywhere can bring.
No, that's a Shaila. If you learn Omer, Michutz La'aretz, says Rabbi Yossi, Memela, Chadash is also
It's a machlokes, man. It's machlokes where you bring it from.
the Rambam Pasuk.
What Rambam says there?
So it goes against the not asking all this Rabbi Yossi.
Tvidim Musaf Perik Zayin Halacha Hey.
מביאים מנחה זו אלא מארץ ישראל.
Repeat again. And
מביאים
Mincha Zu, who's going on Chadash. And Mincha Omer. Ella?
It's
So there's
I like
something,
this.
there's something going on.
But
You see past that Chadash is also Chutz La'aretz, and this Hechrich is what?
Because you bring Omer.
You bring the Omer. And here we have an interesting Rambam that says, Rabbi Yossi, you and me are not, we don't see eye to eye. Because we believe, on one hand, right? On one hand, it's also Minat Torah. At the same time, Ein Chadash, Chutz La'aretz. Comes along the Lechem Mishnah, and he says a very interesting teretz. Rabbi Yossi's right and the Rambam's right. There's no contradiction there. And you want to know the truth, if you thought a little bit, you'd realize that there's really no contradiction. It seems like an open contradiction. The teretz is you'd think. You'd see that it's no shaykhs. There's no connection one to the other. Says the Lechem Mishnah, if you hold Omer, comes from Chutz La'aretz, so that the Hecher Chadash is also. But the other way around is not mucha. You can still hold that Omer doesn't come from Chutz La'aretz, and it still have Yisach Chadash. Rabbi Yossi never said that if Omer doesn't come from Chutz La'aretz, then Chadash has to be mutter. He never said that. He said the opposite.
But the hechech is because you bring the Omer, right? What's the hechech to say it also?
Say again. First of all, listen to the teretz. Then absorb the teretz. And then understand the teretz. And then be quiet. Now listen carefully. Just kidding. Now listen carefully. Yeah? Says the Lechem Mishnah. I'm going to play around. You can enjoy today. You're going to learn for the first time something. You're going to know something. Yeah? You have over here the Lechem Mishnah. What's the Lechem Mishnah? When it comes to Lechem Mishnah, he says, Gewalt. All you see in Rabbi Yossi is, that is a person. Bring from Chutz La'aretz Omer, then Chadash has to be Aser over there. But the Rambam's talking about the reverse, that Chadash is Omer doesn't come from there. You can still learn Chadash is Aser. If the Rambam came and said that Omer comes from Chutz La'aretz and Chadash is mutter, that's against Rabbi Yossi. He's talking about a different thing. He's saying that even if you hold Omer, doesn't come from Chutz La'aretz. Yeah,
but the way the Rebbe said it's much more hard.
You're right. The way I explained it, but this is a Lechem Mishnah, and that's why I explained it the way I did. I explained it the way I did is because if you learn that the lumdus of it is that it's the truma to this thing, from the hechrich, it ain't Omer Ba, it can't be. But the Lechem Mishnah wants to say it's not mucha. That's what he wants to say. So how did the Lechem Mishnah learn the Gedarim? I don't know. This is what he wants to say in study. That all you have is your Rabbi Yossi, that if Omer does come from Chutz La'aretz, then Chadash must be us. So the Rambam, who says that Omer doesn't come from Chutz La'aretz, can still learn that it's yes. Another piece of information which is very important. Now, Menachos Samaches, the Amoraim get involved. Rabbanan Debei Rabashi, and the other Amoraim are there. They learn it's awesome in Torah of Chutz La'aretz like the Stam Mishnah. The Papa and Rav Huna say it's Asur, but only Midrabban.
Who said that?
That's where the Amoraim come from.
Wow, I was done.
In Menachos Samaches, they learn that when it's Machlokes Amoraim, Menachos Samaches, when we say Chadash is also Chutz La'aretz, is it Minat Torah? And Rav Huna and Rav Papa say it's only talking Midrabban. And that's where the Drabanan angle of it comes in. See?
It's not Shachtor, it's Barambam.
No, it's either the Mishnah, we pass like this Mishnah, Or we have the machlokes and we pass like who, like Rebbe, I'm sorry, not Rebbe, like the Tanakama. That's Bein Chutz Min Arlo V'Klein, not Chadash. Not Chadash.
Okay.
Or we pass it like the Amoraim, that it's only Midrash. These are the three shivas, okay? No, Chutzlars. Okay, so you got the three angles of it.
Yeah.
It's either the Stam Mishnah is right, it's either the Tanakama in Kiddushin Lam and Zion is right, or it's the Amoraim that what? The Taka, but it's only Midrash on.
The middle shikha.
The middle sheet. It's only Midrash on. And now we'll soon see how the Rishonim pass. Okay.
1 second, the one that said that Paras.
First, I want you to walk away that there's a Mishnah that says yes. There's a Machlokes Tanoim, yes or no.
And then
And then there's Amoraim, which argue the Reis and Rabbana. And then the question is, and like I started this year, I showed you from the Rishonim already, Rambam,
The Raisa.
the Raisa, he adds on
The
Guy,
Raisa.
we'll soon see where Guy comes to
the Rise and Shulchan Aruch love
Aruch, you don't know, because it could be the Shulchan Aruch is also, it says maybe it's only drop on.
Yeah.
Now, so the Rif and the Rosh, and Kedushin and Pesachim, as well as the Rambam we just learned, as well as the Torah Shulchan Aruch we just learned, as well as, and you better know this, because this is the head general fighting for Isra Chadash and Chutz La'aretz. Who adin bisman hazeh, we'll soon see. It's who?
Torah Shulchan Aruch.
No, who's the general? Who's the Oivin Baruch?
Rambam.
That's the big thing. The Gra. The Gra is the one that Eish Lahaba. Chadash bisman hazeh, Chadash. The back is fine. We'll soon see the back. Okay? Which means that the Rif, the Rosh, the Torah, the Shulchan Aruch.
Yeah.
And that's why why does the Torah bring it down? Because the Rosh. Why does the Rambam paskin it? Because of the Rif. See? The Rif and the Rosh are all posted their Isa. So therefore who?
That's Shulchan Aruch then. That's Shulchan Aruch.
Shulchan Aruch? And, no.
No, but Shulchan Aruch, right?
That's why. But when you have three, that's
You gotta show three of them.
three of them.
We'll soon see. We'll soon see. That's where the Paz comes in. We'll soon see. Again, listen careful. Listen good. Again.
Okay.
Klali Apsak, the Rambam always follows the
Rif, Rosh, and
Rif. You know that.
Yeah.
They say you're a place. You're not a place.
What?
The Rambam always follows the sheet of the
Rif.
Rif. The Rif is Pashtas Deraisa, therefore we find the Ram Deraisa. The Torah has the gears. What's his the gears? He has to look to his father, Chibur Abayev, right? So who does he paskin like? Like the Rosh. The Rosh also says Deraisa. There's Torah Shulchan Aruch, like I said, right? And the Bir Hagra is you'll soon see Yosef Cotton Days, is very marach in the whole business. It's exciting, you have free time to do it. Okay, you saw us. And like I told you, the Stam Mishnah, Taz comes along and says, you know something? You didn't give me anybody here a clear Hachra to the Gemara. You're right, this might be a Stam Mishnah. Might be. You don't know. This might be the Psak Halacha. Might be. This might be the Psak Halacha like a Maimer. Therefore, he says it's a Suffolk.
Amen.
Suffolk remains the Suffolk of Chadash Zasser. Chutz La'aretz, and like I explained to you, who adim is manazeh, because we're like Chutz La'aretz, so we don't have the carbon.
Even though it's so.
What do you mean? Again, now in Eretz Yisrael, because we don't have the carbon Aimer.
I'm thinking it's a subject even though it's so right now.
Because we don't have the carbon Aimer.
Come on.
Telling the Aimer, then the Shab comes to rice. In Chutz La'aretz, there's no Aimer, so. So if you look at the Shagasai, otherwise, that's your homework for tonight.
But it's not much more because since it says that
So Shagasai has a whole arichus to prove that Taz is right. What is? I mean, how could you be machriya one thing over another? There's three things in front of it. Shagasai is, I think it's Simon. I wrote it down. Shagasai.
where is the Chadash?
I have the Shagasai. I have it right here. I did. As comes along, it says even the deraisa. It's a stop. Now, yesterday we spoke a lot. If there's a suffix in Mitzias, if there's a suffix in Klali Apsak, there should be a very big nafkamina if it's Klali in Klali Apsak, or is it a suffix in Mitzias? For example, you don't know, it's a suffix deraisa l'chumah. Does that apply also to Sfeikis and Klolim, in Hudim and Pasuk?
Doesn't?
Why is
So
that?
Pash,
Abayev it is.
so Pash, see,
Go on,
who
Rebbe.
says
Go on.
you don't know how to pass, it becomes a something.
Abayev it is. So,
And I'm just saying, it's a shalom klali psak. If you look at the place, there's always this question. When you don't know who to follow, does that become a something? Something that Raisa L'chumra is, you don't know if this is kosher or not kosher. You don't know if the meat is from this store or that store. But if you don't know how to pass like the Chef Schmeitz or the Tzais or the Hallelujah, since then would that become a something? That's a big shiloh of a place. And of course, those who learn Rabban Sfar know that he always uses this as a sex fate.
Yeah.
It's not so posh. I'm saying it's a shiloh Miklolia. Psak, keep this in mind. Keep in mind that the Kaz's suffix, Deiraisa or not Deiraisa, is not a Metziastic suffix.
Yeah.
It's a suffix in which
Yeah, well, what do you go like?
what do we follow? You should keep this in mind. Now, what's the tzad sheni that it's talked about? So if you look, there's Rabbeinu Baruch, the Balan Shrum, and that's the thing that Shabur speaks about it a lot. The Rosh brings down the Shals of Chuvis Klal Siman Aleph, and the Arzaruach El Kal Shal the Rosh. They all bring the Shabur brings them down these Marmakoyim. The Arzaruach El Kal Shechach Ches.
Which Mishnah Rule?
What?
Mishnah Rule. Which Mishnah
The Mishnah Rule, the fake one. The Mishnah Rule here called Pei Tes.
It's got the new.
No, CPU. Not CPU.
Rabbeinu Baruch. That's the big Rebbe. They're shining. That's who it is. Rabbeinu Baruch. Oh, we have menachas for you. No. Okay, see, are you with me? You're following with me again. So if someone asks you, who's the Oisrim? Roy Rishon. Roy Rishon about the Oisrim. Most of them Asrim. The Tzad Shein is Rabbeinu Baruch. That's the person. We'll see Rabbeinu Baruch in the Vir Allah, in the Shibura. Remember, it's the Rabbeinu Baruch. Where is he? It's called the Balat Trum. The Balat Trum. And it's found in Shals Trum Sarosh, and the Arzaruah. That's who quotes the Rabbeinu Baruch. What's his cheshbon? He says that there's a stam mission the other way around. What's the stam mission? Hey Gimel in the Nafis. Hey Gimel Nafis? Yeah. Kol karbonis hatzibur v'yachid bom min haaretz. All karbonis, where do you bring them from? You have to bring them from u'michutz haaretz. Right? Kol karbonis v'yachid bom min haaretz u'michutz haaretz. Min hachadash u'min hayasham. Chutz min ha'aymer shtei halechem she'ein boiv ela min hachadash u'min haaretz. Aymer, carbon aymer is brought from where? From Chadash and from Oris. Means the Mishnah is the reason why the Rambam paskins that Omer is ain't involved in that middle of Oris. There's nobody that argues in this Mishnah. This is Stam Mishnah. Rabbi Yoshi is a Brisa. Rabbi Yoshi is not a Tan in the Mishnah. Like in the Mishnah, we paskin. That's why the Rambam paskins that Omer doesn't come from Chutzlaretz. Comes along the Balat Trumis. Says, okay, so let's work the reverse. If Omer doesn't come from Chutzlaretz, so the Hechak Chadash must be mutter from Chutzlaretz.
Now lechem here.
Well, it's got chairs from like
I'm very careful what Commissioner says. About Trumas, that's what Trumas Yisayid. About Trumas Yisayid is, I'd like to swear that I explained to you, and that's where I got it from. That it has to go hand in hand. You can't say, Omer, you can't bring the carbon in a Chadash sauce. It doesn't work that way. The Rambam in the Lechem is a Chalak, obviously, but you could one. Okay, so these are the Shittas, pro and cons. Again, the Rambam and everybody Chadash is also called it. The Balat Trumas comes along and says Chadash is mutter. Where does he get it from? Since we paskin Omer doesn't come from Chutzlaretz, and there's a Stam Mishnah, so there's a Stam Mishnah saying already that you can't bring that Chadash is not to mutter Chutzlaretz.
That's his chiddush.
That's his
he
word.
wants to say, but
This becomes the Stam Mishnah for this already too. Once you have a Stam Mishnah that says Kol Karbonos HaTzibur is from Chutzlaretz except from Chadash can't come from Chutzlaretz.
If Poni's Klal will be right, then it's a Stam Mishnah.
So then it turns into a Stam Mishnah already for Chadash is mutter, with the cloud that it's Kol Yavahah. But it's not a Lechem Mishnah. Yeah, and the Mela, therefore, but it's not like Lech Mishnah though.
Sound like Rabbi Aharon.
And that's not.
Whatever. Rabbi Aharon.
I'm saying, but we don't have a Tana that say, so Lech Mishnah, let's see the Ram is Machalim. You see the Ram doesn't pass like that. Ram Paskin doesn't come from Chutz La'aretz, it's too Chadash.
How's it possible?
Because he Paskin not like this with Balatrumis, that there is no Stam Mishnah that Chadash is also.
How's it possible?
It doesn't pack now that about to.
That's right.
Therefore what?
But Mela, therefore Chadash remains also.
Oh yeah, no.
You can't bring from Chutz La'aretz, but Chadash still remains also.
Yeah.
This is the Shita of the Balatrumis. Okay. Is it
It's
following
Tam Talacha. It's Tam Talacha.
What?
It's Tam Chokim Talacha.
There's no Stam Chokim
It
anymore.
is. It's Tam Chokim.
How is it Chokim?
Because Tam, it says in Me'atei over there, and the Mem is over there.
No, here it just says B'chol Makayim. It doesn't say B'zman Hazeh.
What does the Gemara in Menachos say, Rabbi?
You see, according to the Rambam, it's beautiful. Why? Even though it says B'chol Makayim, it's not told
Hamakawan.
that it's also B'chol Makayim,
Oh.
right? B'chol Makayim doesn't have to be Chutz La'aretz anymore. Because once it's not tolling the carbon, according to the Rambam, it's not tolling the carbon. So B'chol Makayim can mean B'zman Abayev she'ein carbon. That's all. But B'zman Hazeh, it's not. This is no shaykhus to this machlekes anymore. The B'chol Makayim over here doesn't mean Chutz La'aretz. It depends if it's totally in the carbon or not. If you learn that it's not totally in the carbon, B'chol Makayim, it's also B'zman Hazeh. But the Rambam is saying this is not negated to me. Because I don't say it's totally Chol B'chol.
What's B'chol Makam mean? I don't have. Why can't they say like the Rambam, like you face the Rambam?
So I'm
You
trying.
put the Chayes past like the mission over there,
Yeah,
no?
but this B'chol Makam is not referring to B'zman Hazeh. This B'chol Makam is referring to Shaloi B'zman Shaloi B'fnei
According to
Abayis.
Rambam? According to Rambam?
Huh?
According to Rambam?
I'm saying according to the Rambam, this is not a stam anymore.
B'chol Makam doesn't mean now B'chol Makam.
B'chol Makam. B'chol Makam doesn't mean B'chol Zman B'zman Hazeh. B'chol Makam means a Chutz La'aretz.
Oh, so the...
So you
No,
can't
so
say
that's
the
what he's saying,
Chutz.
that's what Rambam is handling, no?
Good, but from Memel, there's no stam anymore for this Rambam. That's the kasha you have to ask.
Oh, look at one.
According, what's the reason Chadash should be asked this stam Mishnah, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not the Mishnah Kedushin,
Yeah.
right? And it's not the Amoraim that say that it's only Rabbanon.
Why is that mission on the Greek?
Because it's like this. How do you know how to ask? Lezer says.
How do you know to go past the style? I'm saying it's machlokes time.
Of course, the teretz is because this is Stam Mishnah.
Yeah.
Stam V'acham Machlokes.
Yeah.
But according to the Rambam, that's not totally Hod L'Hod. Kedusha the Machlokes, right? Rabbi Lezer and the Tanakama, and then you have the Moraim of Drabbana D'Oraisa, right? Now, how do we know what the past, the teretz is? Stam V'achak Machlokes, which means that this would be the Makar that's Aser D'Oraisa. How does that work? Because it's not totally Makar. Which means
they don't go both for that.
Machlokes Stam becomes this Stam, obviously, right? If that's true, Lamaisa, it would have to work with a cheshbon that if it's B'chol Makayim, it's not telling the carbon. So Bisman Hazeh, that we don't have a carbon, still awesome.
Yeah.
But the Ram was not totally haba. Ram holds we could split it. You can hold that there's no carbon, and you still become what? Chiyuv.
So what's
Who said it is totally?
No, so you don't know from B'chamakim anymore. What's the right B'chamakim? The Hecher B'chamakim becomes Ais Hecher, because maybe one has nothing to do with the other. So just because in Chutz La'aretz, Bisman Habayis, you Chayiv, is no raya to what? To over here, Bisman Hazeh.
Yeah.
It's no raya from this Mishnah anymore. This Mishnah only is a raya if it's Tali Habaha.
Why?
Because it has to work, and it's Tali Habaha.
Why?
That's the only way it works. So the Mishnah doesn't say Bisman Hazeh, the Mishnah says B'chamakim.
It doesn't mean that the
B'chamakim means every place, right?
How do you know it's totally not? Which I to Oimer, which I to Oimer.
Yes, how do you know today? Today, Klal is no carbon. How do you know? Teretz is not calling the carbon, right?
yes, that's the Rambam.
But that's the Rambam sheep. But you don't see it from this Mishnah.
You don't see other results.
Yeah, so when you have a raya, then you order some don't have a raya from this Mishnah. So I don't know.
It's not like it's
Yeah, but this stam is because if it's Chalmaka and it's not telling the carbon, if you hold that Klal, it's not telling the carbon, then this becomes a stam that Bisman Hazeh. Then this stam becomes that Bisman Hazeh you have to be chayv the Chadash. Because it's Tali HaBahar, and there's a stam that it's B'chal Makah. But if it's not Tali HaBahar, so the stam of B'chal Makah is not teaching me Bisman Hazeh anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the Herchach anymore becomes. But for some reason, the Rabbi, unless he learned in the Pasuk, I don't know how much I don't know what the Herchach is now. You understood your question? Difficult. No, you got it? This question. Okay, I actually, to work on it. This Mishnah becomes the Mekar from Bisman Hazeh, it's only based on what?
Yeah,
Right? You like the question, huh?
Yeah, we have the mind into
You have to mind into this, you work on it. Mishnah. Oh, well, okay. You have to work on it. Okay, this is what it is, okay? Yeah, you got it? You got it, Ash. That according to this Mishnah, it's only a Hecher if the Chol Makim Zeraya is what? Is a raya to Bisman Hazeh. But once you hold, you can split the carbon and the chiyuv, so this it's not raya anymore for Bisman Hazeh. All right, it's fine. Okay, let's move on. The Magen Avraham has a very interesting chiddush. And he says like this, I believe that we can start playing a little geography.
Where?
The Magen Avraham is Tav Pei Tes Siv Cotton Yud Aleph.
Yeah.
Very, very famous Magen Avraham, very famous Magen Avraham. He says, Siv Cotton Yud Aleph. He says, I think it's a good idea to play a geography game. Well, I'll say like this. Eretz Yisrael is Berais. Chutz La'aretz, it depends. Depends where. Where in the Chutz La'aretz. If it's Karev Eretz Yisrael, then it becomes this of Rabbanan. Just like Trumas and Maisris. That all the Mishnais Gittin were busy with it and Maisris and Karev Eretz Yisrael is chayiv to the like Surya, these places are chayiv in Maisris. Why? The Rabbanan, because it's close to Eretz Yisrael. Therefore, Eretz Yisrael is Deraisa.
Not like Maestro.
Eretz Yisrael is Deraisa.
The Rabban today.
Today it's Rabbanan. Okay, because we don't have to have Deraisa. Tetzayin, I had Yud Aleph here. Look, it's a reading to Yud Zayin. Okay, go ahead, no? Right. The question always was, how come in Poland they weren't Makbid on Chadash? That was so he wants to say Poland is not Karev Eretz Yisrael. Again, if you speak to the Jews of Europe, they felt it was Eretz Yisrael. But all right, don't forget into that. Go ahead, no? They used to sign Yerushalayim to build. They used to sign Yerushalayim to build.
Wow, what was Yerushalayim to build?
They used to say that. Get to the Maskana. Karev Eretz Yisrael. Whenever it's Karev Eretz Yisrael, it's chayiv in Chadash midrabban.
And what about Rachok? Nothing.
Rachok is nothing.
Oh, here.
Hear the job?
נראה לי, העולם סומכים על מה שכתב הרב רש בית בחדש בחוץ לארץ מדרבנן. לא גזרו עתה מחוץ לארץ, כיוון שאין אנו סמוכים לארץ ישראל.
Ain't on a school of Eretz Yisrael. You hear the sheet of the Magen Avraham?
Ja, it's Karol. It's Durant, but
Can't be their rice.
But there is
Drabbana. Karev is not Eretz Yisrael. But they were only got. Oh, what's his name? So either you could say simply, you don't want to be a lobster. I don't know if everybody wants to be a lobster. You would come and say that they weren't guys who are different than Trumas Elisha. They gave it the same thing as Trumas Elisha.
Of us.
They batched it all together like the Rambam batched it together. Yesh, meaning like the Rambam. That's why I start off the Rambam. There's certain things called from Oretz, Ma'aser,
the same gather.
All this, Karel Eretz Yisrael. They pushed it. They said, you know what, Eretz Yisrael. Magen Avraham not doing nothing. Magen Avraham's not doing nothing. Magen Avraham's quoting something. Rabbeinu Baruch. But he's explaining to Rabbeinu Baruch that they didn't do it more than Trumas Elisha. Okay. If you take a look in Trumas Hadeshin, Siman Kuf Tzadik Aleph, and of course the famous Bach. Bach says, Ha'olam Noaku. Today, the Bach probably is Bach.
Where?
Kuf Tzadik Aleph. The famous Bach.
Kuf Tzadik Aleph.
In Yeridea, Tzadik Aleph, the famous Bach. Today we don't have to worry about Chadash. Today we don't have to worry about Chadash. Why? Why don't we have to worry about Chadash? No, Rabbeinu Baruch just says the rice of the Rabbanos. Rabbeinu Baruch doesn't the right that it's not the rice of this manazeh. Fine.
Yeah.
Lamaisa, it could be Drabbana. Very shy, it still remains Drabbana. So why would the Chalal not know you? Bach says, don't worry about Chadash. Leave it alone. It's not Negeh B'zman Sadesh and Bach.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
No, but
Period. Today,
maybe
actually.
he also said, לא גזרו עתה בחוץ לארץ, כיוון שאין אנו סמוכים לארץ ישראל. לא גזרו, רבנו דמנת מגוזר, בזמן הזה.
I think they never smuchim, but it's also not knowing it. The Bach wants to say it's not Negeh B'chlal b'zman hazeh.
Even
It's Yisrael, it's B'chlal out of the question.
It's going on the left. It's going on.
Slowly, we're not only there.
What about the Chadash?
No?
The Trumas Hadeshin, no, the Trumas Hadeshin, yeah, good, so he says it, we're not knowing b'zman hazeh.
At all.
At all, period.
Then, first Rabban, now there's nothing.
Who says Drabbana?
Then Rabban says Rabban.
I never said Rabban, but it says not Chayiv, not Chayiv b'zman.
The Trumas Khadash and the same.
I'm saying, but it's not even a steer. One has nothing to do with the other. He's saying chutz. He's talking about chutz larks. Now we have from the Trumas Hadesh and the Bach Halacha L'Maisa. Nobody's to worry about it. Period. Even in Eretz Yisrael, it's not again. Today, the Bach Hazeh, even in Eretz Yisrael. Don't worry about this Chadash.
What's the shot of that?
Why?
What's the shot? The question is, how come we don't do it? People don't do it. People were never knowing the Yisrael Chadash. The question is, why? Why? Trumas Hadeshin says ha'olam no'akud, meaning ha'olam already is legal even in Eretz Yisrael. So there's a few timing that's brought down. The Taz in Yeridea says that there's only one way out of this. You know what it is? Shas Adcha. There's no choice.
Why?
Who says that?
Taz in Yeridea, Sif Cut Base.
You're there where?
Yeridea Sif Cut Base comes in with the Taz, and he says there's no choice. You know why there's no choice? That we would starve. There would be nothing to eat. When we were in Eretz Yisrael, we can monitor it. Today we can monitor the Chadash Yasha.
Nobody does it.
Slow. Not because nobody does. Say right, because the farmers weren't into it. So what are you going to do? You're going to drop it. So now you can do it, but I'm saying, but at the time of the Oilam Naga that the Bach wrote it, the Bach was saying, no, you can't do it.
Where's the tongue?
Taz is in Yeridea over there. What's again? So, Chadash, you cut days. If you look, he says an interesting lashon. He says even though b'derech halacha karabim, and most Rishonim are, we don't say halacha karabim shafat because he's saying das yachid.
That's not a very big thing.
Saying das yachid shasad. If you look at the Gra here, the Gra gets very vehemently nasty. This very harif is. You look at the Gra over there. It's right? It makes sense. It's wrong. Look at the Gra going over there. Now I wanted to read a Ramah. Go ahead. Now start reading the Ramah. Ramah in your day. Go ahead. Comes along the Ramah, and the Ramah says, not negay l'chumos.
How do you mean? Don't eat it?
Read the Ramah. There's no reason to be machmer on Chadash.
כל סתם תבואה שרי לאחר הפסח.
Kol stam tfuah shari lachar pesach.
מכוח ספק ספקה.
Remember we spoke by Chol of Yisrael and Chol of Stam. There's Chol of Yisrael, right? Chol of Akum, Chol of Stam. The Ramosha comes along and says it's called Chol of Stam. It's not called Chol of Akum, which means there's not one way or the other. It's Stam. There's this thing so-called Kemach Stam. People don't know this, and I don't know why they catch on. Maybe because people don't learn the sugya because it's too hard for them. There's such a thing called Kemach Yashan. There's such a thing called Kemach Chadash, and there's something called Kemach Stam. So when you walk out of this shir, you'll remember I taught you this. There's something called Kemach Stam. I don't know why you didn't catch on this phrase, but it's a first Ramah. If it's Stam and you don't know which way, you don't know. Svek Sveka.
Oh, what's the Sveka?
What is it? Read it. Go ahead. What's
מכוח ספק
Sveka?
ספקה. ספק היא משנה שעברה.
Yeah.
Maybe it's last year. Believe me, when you sit in yeshiva, right?
Maybe the data was.
They never give you fresh food. It's always from 3 years ago, right? So who says the wheat is fresh? I always used to say, in yeshiva don't be makbid on Yashem. It's always Yashem. Go ahead, Zo.
ואם תרצה לומר משנה זו, מכל מקום דילמה נשרשה קודם האור.
Which is also from last year, so what's the Sveka?
Again, and if you're going to come and say that it's Chadash, which means right now you're afraid that it's from, maybe it was Nishrash. What's coming out in Hawaii? Maybe it was Nishrash what?
What's Nishrash?
Doesn't mean that it's from Rabbi. How do you know Shabbat?
Again,
What's Nishrash?
Dilma maybe, it's not Chadash anymore because the Daim was matter.
What's the Svek? It's not Chadash.
It's the same thing, really. It's the same thing.
Again,
No.
Sveika, that the wheat is mamish from last time.
What's the mamash not mamash? It's
Not
grew
Chadash.
from last year.
Chadash.
It grew from last year, but Rosh makes it from last
Dilma, it grew this year. You want to say it's not a subject of That's your question.
year. Yeah. The mamash stop. It's high. It's the same thing.
That's Brex the good.
How do you defend? What do you?
No, because that's I'm going to tell you in a minute. That's some cipher, grud, so very shy.
Maybe it's a certain. It's Shemecha. It's Shemecha.
It's the same thing. If it's dishes, it's right from last year.
I remember. Which is taking it.
They changed the rules about it. They changed it by moving bread, shower food. We know where it comes from now. And nowadays, they were on the stove, so the stove does not keep on starving.
I don't. I mean, there's no such thing because they tell you what it is. They put out the book.
That's it.
It says ice calendar.
They took away the cooler bird.
You know, so
Rebbe, which to stick? Which to stick?
where are they? Yeah. Last year.
Yeah, from before.
And even if it's the new week, it's Mamish Chadash. Yeah, but maybe it was Nishrash.
What's Nishrash?
It took root already before.
For Pesach.
So he's asking it's the same thing. So look at the Kash. But what's called root?
But
Take a look at the Shach.
But why do we care about Rudu?
Yes, the Bail's last year. It's right. It comes like last year. The Daim was Materin. The Daim was Materin.
Shrash we're looking?
It was Nishrash. The Bail was Materin. Look at it last year. So he's asking it's Mishem Elcha.
Yeah.
Okay, comes along the Shach. In Reish Tzad the Gimel Sir cut base, and he says, what's called Nishrash? How many days before it needed to be Nishrash? Now, wait a second. What I understood the Shaila of the Paiskim is, how did this affect Sveig? I mean, the farmer knows. Farmer's not a Meshuggah, he knows how to
But what you get? What do you get?
What I mean, he knows, it takes, we learned this in Hilchas Riyah. It takes how many, it's nothing to be. There's a Shaila could even be Nishrash in how many days?
3 days.
No, we learned it by Masechta Shabbos, remember?
right
away.
Right
Shash learns it right away. We spoke about it.
Yes.
What's the Shaila? Remember we spoke around the first year that we had Masechta Shabbos. The Rambam Shita. Ram Pirush Mishnayos. Remember? You learned good. You hear? The Ram Pirush Mishnayos learned that Zriya is not chai putting the seed in, but Hashrosha. How can be chai when you put the seed in? Nishrash miyad. Remember we learned this Nishrash miyad. How did you put a seed in the ground in Nishrash?
Like you cutting here.
We learned this, remember? Huh? You weren't here. We learned this. We learned this. Those that were here learned it. You were with me? Who was with me again? We learned it. We learned it. We learned it. But when he says like this, you know what Hashrosha? Hashrosha is 3 days. The Hainu. You hear what the Shail is? The Hainu, we're not talking about big, he planted it a few weeks before Pesach. So if he planted a few weeks before Pesach, there was Nishrash before Pesach. You're talking about he was mamish planted a day before, 3 days before Pesach, yeah? So it's Nishrash 3 days. In other words, it's a minute amount. If you take a look, then the Kudas HaKesef.
But Rebbe, Nishrash before, anyway you're going to cut after Pesach.
That's what he's trying to say, Chiddush. It has a lock like before Pesach. That's Allah. It comes Allah before Pesach.
If you're going to cut after Pesach, still it's mutar, because Chadash after Pesach is mutar.
No, Chadash becomes also again after Pesach.
If you go after the 2 weeks after.
Chadash again, it then becomes the new week for the next year. Then you have to wait till next year Pesach to come.
How it's work?
Every time
You don't cut it after Pesach.
let's say it grew after Pesach, then for the whole year it becomes also for Pesach.
Grew up to Pesach.
If it grew before, the Ayim is matri. Comes along to the Kudas HaKesef, and he says it's 2 weeks. It's not 6 days. It's not 3 days. You need Shtei Shabbatot. So if you take a look, the Yehuda and the Bir Agra seem cutting base also. The Bir Agra makes things a little very difficult over here. 2 weeks. It has to be at least 2 weeks. Mele, what is he trying to do? He's really trying to knock away the Sfek Fake of the Gra. He's trying to say that there's no Sfek Fake. Either you know, you don't know. What do you mean? There's no maybe 3 days. It took root.
So to us it's something.
Sfek Fake.
To us it is something.
Who calls that a Sfek Fake?
That's fake. We don't
Say
have.
that's a Sfek Fake. Again, that's stuff to do with Siyas. I don't know. It's not so posh. Whatever it is, this is the Gra. The Gra learns it's 2 weeks. Gra says clearly the 2 weeks.
What was the Gra say?
Saying that you got to be more. The Sfek has to be more than just or maybe 3 days before. You know, it has to be that you really planted it a while ago. It has to be that you planted it a month before Pesach, and you could have something that was Nishrash after 3 weeks, 2 weeks before Pesach, something like that. But Baruch, I'm saying, I'm playing with the numbers, but you say this is 2 weeks. If you come along with some Sefer Geridei, Seif Simin Kup, he wants to say that in Betuchim, if you're guaranteed, if you know for sure, then you can be Sainach on the 3 days. When you're not Betuchim, then you have to worry about the weeks before. Means if you know for sure that this is wheat that was Nishrash from before Pesach, then we could say even 3 days is good enough to make it for before Pesach. You don't have to have 2 weeks. But on the Svek you have to have a something 2 weeks. Somewhere in the middle. This is the Samsai. Which means that this Machlaikis is in the middle. And I would say, I'll give you the 3 days that Nishrash is Bunder, but you have to have Betuchim that's B'fnei Pesach. But on a Svek you can't just say, maybe the guy that he planted the day before
Right now it's Betuchim.
Who says Betuch? How do you have that Betuch?
Because right now anything which you have is from before.
Yeah, but you don't know when the guy planted it. Maybe he planted it 2
It's
days.
not sharp,
He planted it 5 days before Pesach.
Go for 10 days.
He planted it before
But
Pesach.
it's not sharp.
You mean now today you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, today. That's what he means. That's what some Sefer means. Right after Pesach, you know that the wheat wasn't Nishrash. It wasn't Nishrash 3 days before Pesach. Yeah? But in in 3 months from now, in 4 months from now, says the Chassam Soif, you'll have to start worrying that maybe it was Nishrash only 3 days before or after, the mail becomes us. Are you with me? You following with me?
Why explain?
You don't know. That's very fun. The Svek is maybe it was Nishrash before. When it comes so we see from this Ramah, a big Yisod. Now whenever something is Nishrash before, it already becomes mutter with the new card. What's called Nishrash before? Says the Shach 3 days. That's what you say doesn't matter. I'm asking you, halacha or ma'id, it was Nishrash before. What's that side of the sub? And maybe it was Nishrash before. So Nishrash before becomes mutter. What's called Nishrash before? Says the Shach 3 days. As long as it's Nishrash 3 days before Pesach, it becomes mutter. Comes on the Kudas HaKesef and the night of Yehuda and the Gra and everybody says 2 weeks. Otherwise, less than 2 weeks is not called Nishrash. Before it's called already New Week from after Pesach. Says the Chassam Sofer like this: on Betuchim, when you know for sure that this thing was from before Pesach, so Nishrash Gimel Yom is good enough to matter. But where you don't know, on the Sveika, you need the 2 weeks. You need at least that it was 2 weeks before, that the guy planted it 2 weeks before.
You don't know that.
Yeah, but that's what has to be the Sveika on.
Yeah.
You can't use a suffix, oh, well, he planted 2 days before Pesach, maybe it's Nishrash and maybe it's Mut. Huh? On 2 weeks you can use the suffix. We don't have...
arguing on the Ramah.
Yeah, they really are, because technically it comes out now.
Now we don't know that.
You have to know what happened. You have wheat now. It couldn't have been Nishrash.
You have a wood here, you had a wood here.
Let's say
What's supposed to do it before, right?
And let's say in 3 months from now, you don't have that part of the spake of the Ramon.
Yeah, right.
So the Chalam is a problem. The Ramon seems anytime you have the spake. No, I'm going to some site. That's why it broke out. You don't always have the spake.
So how much goes?
Because maybe part of the subject that maybe was Nishrash 3 days before doesn't apply to you.
They were wheat from the autumn.
Nishrash 3 days before. So that part of the subject goes away.
You blame from Scotland.
So then it becomes mutter. Even if you kiter, it doesn't make a difference anymore. Because it was Nishrash before Pesach. If you planted it after Pesach, then it becomes us until next year Pesach. Okay, now, comes along the Uriel Abayev. And Uriel Abayev, Chelik Alad, Yeridei Simon Tezpah. He wants to say that we can follow the Rabbah. We don't have to follow the Machaber.
Yeah,
Like always. He's always, he's very kind with the Ashkenaz. Very well. Yeridei Simon Tezpah. But he's Bechalik, you hear? Shabbos and Yantiv, Lukavit Shabbos, Yantiv, follow the Ramah. During the week, better eat rice and avocado. You don't have to follow it. Wants to say that the Ramah is Yeshlam, you can be Saivach on the Ramah, but only Gemak Matzarech, like Yantiv, Shabbos. The kids here, Chalas, you can eat on Shabbos. The Chalas, you can eat on Shabbos, but during the week, what should you eat? You should eat rice.
But they're making, let's say, the beer.
Oh, so that's already another shayla. Mashke, Abam and Chadash is awesome. That becomes a whole shayla. There's a Rabbi Yezer on it. Or Uriel Abayev. Chelik Aleph, Yeridei Simon Tezpah.
What he said?
He says that this Ramah, you should be Saimach on only on Shabbos and Yom.
The Ramah, you don't
You don't have to worry about Chag. Efshar Latirav. Chadash is also his mutter. You don't know this stuff, by the way, huh? He's an interesting pipe. Huh? It's a Machaber. How could you matter a Machaber? How could Sfard be matter a Machaber? I don't know. I really don't know. It's not a Shas Chak anymore. It's not a Shas Chak. You don't have the terrors of the Taz anymore. The Svek is around Mav. Mechatesh, you can be matter. I don't know how to spot the huh? No, if you know for sure. If you don't know all of them. Listen, no. See,
Most of comes from Chutar anyways.
what chutzah? What's happening in China chutzah? What did you just happen in China? What does chutzah have to do with it? What's chutzah? According to Rambam, chutzah is still deraisa, and even if the Rambam could be, even the Machaber could be talking about Drabanan.
Already,
you are
different than Svek is.
What the Svek Sveka?
Svek is like this. והוא ספק שם התבואה הזו נזרק קודם בפסח גימול ימינות והותר ואומר אם תתרומר זה אחר הפסח נזרק התורה העיקר להסתפק שם הלכה כמנדה אמר שחדש נוהג.
Okay, good, because he learned that that's also a song. So it's three speaks.
Yeah.
Maybe the halacha is more.
But she doesn't have, she they not going to get on top of my around and look.
I don't tell him to tell. I don't know. I'm telling you. I don't know. Listen, you hear? You knew the Uriel Abayev Matan Chadash? You knew this?
Only the Shabbos, Rabbi. Only on Shabbos.
Sure.
Rebbe told us before us shot at God.
Why we Matan Chadash B'Zman Hashem? This has nothing to do with Chutz La'aretz. This has to do with that famous tour that I started off with. Ben Guy, Ben Yisrael. Whether it's the wheat of a guy or whether it's the wheat of Yisrael. There's a Taisus in Kedushin that brings down the Kedushin over there on that machlokes. He brings down the Yerushalmi that even a guy, even the Ketzir of a guy. Why? Because Omer is what? Ketzir Cha. It says by carbon Omer Ketzir. Should we be Dairish Ketzir Cha like Ketzir Ak? So the Yerushalmi says clearly that a guy's wheat, Apple PK, even though it says Ketzir Cha, is Taka Asr and Chadash. Shals Chubas Arash brings the Rav Yah, the Mordechai, the Meiri, and the Torah that we spoke out, the Tasiv Cotton Bays, the Shachtiv Cotton Vav, the Bir Agrasiv Cotton Bays, and of course the Drush V'chidash Rabbi Akiva comes and says Gevaldi. Why? Because according to the Rambam is not Toilah, the Isser Chadash in what? The Karmeh. So Ketzircha is a Keturah in carbon. That we don't bring a guy's wheat and make a carbon from it.
Why?
It's still Chayv Chadash.
Then
What's the whole? According to the Rambam, that we said that it's not totally halacha. Chayv in carbon oimer. You can be potter in carbon oimer. And Chayv Chadash. So Mel Zakir B'Kiveg, according to the Rambam, the Petur of Ketzircha, that a guy's wheat cannot be used for Chadash, for Omer, still doesn't tell me that there's no Chadash by a guy.
why?
Said it is.
Why?
Again, the Yerushalmi comes, Kedushin, Taisus brings down the Yerushalmi, that a guy's wheat is Chayiv in Omer.
Why?
It's Chayiv in Chadash.
Why?
Why? Because it's Chayiv in Chadash. What's the flip between a guy and
Okay, so Shach is Rabbi Akiva.
Wait a second. Comes along the Mardchit, the Torah, and I showed you all the Marmikais. The one, the Miri, the Tushon, the
Torah.
Comes along Kiveg, and he says a very partial cheshbon. You know where it comes from? It's according to the Rambam. The Oimer and the Chadash are not Tali HaBaha. So true that a guy you can't bring a carbon Oimer from, but who says it's not also Chadash? One is Chadash. What's wrong with the other?
But doesn't mean yes, you have to mechayiv. You have to mechayiv the guys who are them in the
Exactly. You should say that the Rambam is the hechrik that of a guy.
Why?
So what? Says you can't only Ketzircha. That's it. You're finished.
I don't know what you're arguing. What are you arguing?
According to Rambam, could be by going still pottery. Because only what?
The hechrik, the pot, which goes to Ketzircha, that says by the carbon Oimer. Carbon Oimer has nothing to do with Chadash. Doesn't make a difference. Guys and males don't clip a guy in a Jew. The whole svara to pater Chadash by a guy's wheat is because Ketzircha of carbon Oimer. The Rambam holds not Tali.
Who brings this Tircha to the head?
Yerushalmi. That's what Tali on. I mean, this is like straight. The backpacker goes to town with this. He says Goyim is not again. Therefore, Bismanazin. I'm to worry about the.
Yerushalmi.
He passes for carrot. Look at the back. Yerushalmi. Passes for carrot.
Everything that was made.
So Chaim Oizer speaks about drinks that come from Yassis. The whole Chadash is also Chaim Oizer drinks are also.
What about chant, Rabbi? The
Fair enough is anyway us.
Why?
They have.
If the Rambam holds that carbon Omer has nothing to do with Chadash, therefore, just because since it's Goyim, Rive wheat is Goyim, the buying good luck, it's not Chadash.
Who said the argument on the Rambam that he is told not to be the other man Trumas Chadash, Baruch?
Who?
The
Baruch. Baal and Truma. Truma's Chayr.
So he holds like that it is told.
Chayr would be telling this Yerushalmi. You want to know who's busy with this right away? The Pnei Yeshua and the Kudos. He's busy with this. Pages and pages. Pages and pages. Now, let's get to the part of the Shia that begins.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
This was all the Mahamakaibis. Now you want to know the Shia begins right now.
The last 10 minutes of shit.
You know what it reminds me of? That there was a lady once came into a store. And they were selling salami. She tells the guy, do me a favor, chop me a few slices of salami. He takes the big salami, puts it on the machine, and he starts slicing up the salami. So he looks more. And he looks, she still wants more. He's chopping more and more. Wait, so he chopped halfway through the salami, he turns around to her, He says, okay, now give me 3 pieces from the middle. Give me 3 slices from the middle. She was chopping away because she didn't want the end, so she's an old lady. She tells him to keep on going. And he thinks he's buying this thing. He says, chop. Now give me 3 slices from the middle. So I'm telling you, this is all the chop way to get to the middle. Okay, let's talk. What is this? No, two of today's guy. It's full guy. Even Eretz Yisrael, it could be right. Keep chariots. Okay, you look at the foul of this business. Not the fact. It's good.
Rabbi, come on, we have only 5 minutes.
Okay, now.
No.
Okay, Yeshua brings a very interesting shita. Yeshua brings a shita that in Eretz Yisrael, Chadash is also even on the 12 Goyim. In Chutz La'aretz, even if you hold like the Rambam, that it's Minat Torah, Goyim is mud.
Goyim?
Goyim is mud.
Who says that, Rabbi?
This is a shita that Yeshua brings down.
Why? Why is it Moses for?
I don't know. He brings the shita down. Again, then in Eretz Yisrael, Chadash is also even a guy's, which means that if a guy would plant in Eretz Yisrael, our land.
Where's Pnei Shul?
Pnei Yeshua is a kuntrus acher at the end of the Masechtas Kedusha. The male is Eretz Yisrael, and there's nothing what to talk about. In Chutz La'aretz,
They own
hold this
it.
Isser. Even if there's an Isser Chadash in Chutz La'aretz. Yeah? But Torah, like Chadash is also the nicer guy is comes along to Pnei Yeshua, and he vehemently argues on this. He says there's no shaykhus to the Lamaisa. He says it's wrong. And he says, Manav Shach, he says, if it's noyig min ha-Torah chutz la'aretz, if it's true that it's noyig, then it's not telling the Eimer, right?
Across the board.
So Manav Shach, across the board. All right, very well said. I like what you said. Across the board, follow through. If it's not telling the Eimer, so then a guy who doesn't have Eimer should still be what? Chayiv. Across the board. Azay zok the Pnei Yeshua. You with me? Again. He brings a shita from the Knesset Yecheskel that in Eretz Yisrael, also in Atayr Chadash, guys also aser. In Chutz La'aretz, even if you hold that a guy's aser, yeah? Even if you hold, that Chadash is also in Atayr, a guy's wheat in Chutz La'aretz is mutter.
Yeah.
That could be mine. You can't learn Min Atayr, says the Pnei Yeshua, which means it's not telling the carbon in Chutz La'aretz, and turn around and say that a guy is what?
What's carbon?
It's mutter.
Tachlis carbon.
And if in Chutz La'aretz it's only Drabanan, so the pshat is it's tali in Eimer. So even a guy in Eretz Yisrael should be mutter. Again, and if it's Drabanan, afilu in B'chutz La'aretz it's Drabanan, pshat is, it's Drabanan, right? So then afilu in Eretz Yisrael it should be mutter.
Yeah, fine. Because if it's good, it's bad, on the machine, but on the gabber, yeah.
Again, the in B'chutz La'aretz is taken Isser. If you hold B'chutz La'aretz, it's only Drabanan, right? Correct the B'nai Yeshua that in Eretz Yisrael it should come out that a guy should be mutter. A guy should be mutter. L'maisa there's a Piskei Tois. That Piskei Tois in Menachos, I think we should look it up. Yeah, we have a minute, we should look it up. There's a Piskei Tois in Menachos. And he brings down Taka L'halach. That a guy is the drop on. That's not okay, but it's still good. The drop on. And a guy's weak. No, the back comes and says, out the window with a guy. Taisus brings down and says that it's Taka Min HaTorah Aser. And the Piskei Taisus says that it's the drop on. Look. What's the machlai? I want to tell you like this. There's a Peldig Arsa Meach. There's a Shiloh. If Chadash is in this, Gavr in this, it's our Samech.
What's Samech on what?
What's Samech? He'll come to Matz. He wants to know if Chadash is an Issa Gavril or it's an Issa Chetz. Which means it's the person or it's the Chetz. I once had a raya. Where does it say that?
By the Valen.
Rambam says.
Rambam said it's to Isu Zera Ha'aret.
Yeah.
Zera Ha'aretz, not Eretz Yisrael.
How much was there for the pot?
Zera Ha'aretz means the things that grow from the land.
And which is one is Chadash.
Yeah, but not Isser Ha'aretz. Zera Ha'aretz. Which means it's not,
Any kind of
it's fruit instead of animals. Zera Ha'aretz. The Shiloh is it the Chayfetz Or is the Shiloh is it the Gam? No, Claire's Dar Sameach Shiloh. I once had a raya. I want you to look at the Rambam in Issa Mizbeach, Perik He Halacha Tes. Isura Mizbeach. Go ahead. You'll soon see. Again, famous Ar Sameach, Issa Chadash. Is it the object or the person? You're not eat Chadash. What asa is it? It's the Chayfetz that's not allowed? Or is it the person? Go ahead. No?
Yisurim, yeah, Rabbi? But by any Misurim.
Soon see. We'll soon talk about all those things. But my not community, we'll soon see what the object is.
We have the Mikdash.
Surim is bad. Perik He Halacha Tes.
Okay. Ein Mivim Menachol.
You're not allowed to bring menachas from what?
Menachafim. Lo min Tevel. Lo min Chadash.
Lo min Chadash.
Kodem lo.
Yeah, wait a second, slow. So you're not allowed to bring Chadash and make karbonis from it. Mincha, Nesachim, you're not allowed to use it for the karbonis.
From Chadash.
Slowly. Why not? What's the reason? Says the Rambam. It's interesting reason, no?
שזה קודם לעומר, ולא מן הזומה, ואין צריך לומר מעולה, אוקיי. וכלי הקל, מפני שיצווה הבא בעבירה.
The Gemara gives a different reason. You know what the Gemara's reason is? Mimashki Yisrael, Minabuta Beficha. The Gemara says the reason is for Menachas has to be something which is kosher. It can't be something which is asr. That's Gemara. That's Gemara Menachas. What the Lechem Mishnah, what does he quote? The Lechem Mishnah, the Kesef Mishnah, what do they quote? Comes along the Shakasai and he screams, what are you talking mitzvah of Aveira? What happened to the Gemara? And he's marich, big arichas on. Yeah?
No, so Mel is the mitzvah about Aveira. It's not still to the Gemara.
Not Yisrael is a special limud, that's because you
No, Mel is mitzvah about Aveira.
Apostles it.
No, the mitzvah Aveira, why?
You know, I'm going to throw something at you.
Why?
You could say this. How do you say this out of your mouth? How could you even say a thing like this? Mashki Yisrael is a limud that has to be kosher.
No.
Memel, it's mitzvah of Avera. What are you talking about? It's also it's possible. It's not the stuff. You took a pig and you brought them as bad. Is it kosher carbon or it's mitzvah of Avera? Stop and us could be told me drop on anyway. Stop, take that cup. What was wrong talking about? Mitzvah of Avera means that this is no good because mitzvah of Avera. No good because the Torah says chadzer. The guy brought a pig for a carbon. Mitzvah of Avera. Someone brings a pig. This is how he wants the Ram Shirai. Someone brought a horse to the Mizbeach. It's a mitzvah above Aveira. That's what you want. That's the Ram to you. Nothing. He brought not a carbon. Trade.
But this is something.
What's it about Aveira mean?
What does Aveira mean?
What I mean is if you say something you did kosher, but something wrong.
Something you did wrong. Lulav Gazos mitzvah above Aveira. Apple. You can say it's mitzvah above Aveira. What are you talking about? Guy took an apple and a cantaloupe, and he took them and then mitzvah above Aveira. It's Aveira not take a little of the gag or it's nothing. If Bruce would have a heart attack here, I promise you, if Bruce would stand there and get a heart attack here. I'm honestly, you don't know the veins would pop in his head. I can't explain to you what you say. Do you understand what you say? It's
something. I'm telling you, if this thing is not carbon, then it's a mitzvah about Aveira.
You don't cover it. It's not a carbon. If a guy brought a Gemara to and was marking on him his bath, it's about Aveira.
Oh, but he's not a Gemara.
It is. It's trade. Mimashki Yisrael is a puzzle.
Go on, but it's still grain, whatever.
It's not. That's trade carbon. What are you talking about? The Gemara is Mimashki Yisrael. The Rav spits above Aveira. He wants him. A guy comes in. I went and shechted a man on the Mizbeach. It's mitzvah above Aveira. What are you talking about? Yeah, but this is nothing. Guy went and bought us lamppost for a carbon. Mitzvah above Aveira.
Yes, I will.
This is Shadasai's kasha. Okay, go ahead. Mitzvah above Aveira. Now read the Kesef Mishnah.
Kesef Mishnah.
And if everybody correct the kasha, go ahead. No?
אוקיי, כסף משנה, בתוספת דמנחות, סוף פרק ח' וגם בתוספת ממעילה, ופרק אלו אומרים, ממשקה
ישראל, we learn from something else.
מותר לישראל. בגלל אין מביאים נכסית מן הטבע.
מן הטבע, you wait till the day that comes above Aveira. I don't have a terrace to this kasha, it's a pelvic kasha, but one thing I do have. Mitzvah above Aveira, Rabbi Sai, is in the mice of the chepsa. Taisha says it clearly in many places. That's in the Chetz. course. We're at it. Remember, they found. Mitzvah haba b'aveira has to be the chetz.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Lulav gazla, asher, all these things. It has to be the chetz. It's not a chetz. It's mitzvah haba b'aveira. If let's say on my way to take my lulav, I stuck my hand through somebody's head. That's not mitzvah haba b'aveira. Tais says it clearly, you know. Tais isn't sukkah that test, not lamis.
Yeah, the person.
Then in the chetz, mitzvah haba b'aveira. The chayfetz is most for the mitzvah. Tais, no, you don't know this Tais?
I know the process.
So what do you want from me? So why?
I'm not in the Ekin right now.
What's the Taisis? The male of what? So it's a raya brura. I hold it's a raya brura that Chadash is an isser chetza and not an isser gabla.
What do I do now?
If I hold it's mitzvah b'aveira Chadash, gotta be an isser chetza, not isser gabla. No mitzvah b'aveira, but isser chetza. I don't argue. Okay, now let's move on.
Rebbe, if it is a chetza, that's saying to bringing tomorrow.
No, I'm not answering. I don't have the Teresh Shagas Teresh Kasha. But one thing for sure, if you call it mitzvah b'aveira, I know that it's an isser chetza, not isser gabla. You know where I heard this from originally? Boy, I heard this from Rabbi Aharon.
Who?
Rabbi is told.
Who's the leader?
Rabbi is.
That's what leader.
The one.
Well, good place. Rabbi is, no. Well, I heard this from Rabbi.
We are leaders.
What? Why is it?
What was the matter?
It's long or samer. But this raya, no, he doesn't think. Now listen carefully. Here. Oh, but it's that test to the plan. The teich, the remas in the teich.
About the
Lulav gazel, no? It's a bavera.
getting a little bit.
You lulav gazel. It's a bavera. That's clear. Huh? There's a reason for it. He's a little boy.
What's his right?
Then I need a chapel use clothes. Here's that chapel use clothes. Beautiful raya, no? Oh, lulav gazel says it. By lulav gazel share it. It has to cut. Oh, it says.
What's right?
Lulav gazel.
That's what Sameach, that's what I'm saying, or is Tam. That's what Sameach, what you're saying, it's your captain. Or Sameach.
Clarence a Shiloh, this guy was.
I'm
first time bringing a raya.
I'll say, but you would have
Let's move along. I have to come. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, let's move on. It bothered me all my life. What's custom? Bothered me all my life. Basar b'chalom. Basar b'chalom. Is there a chefetz of basar b'chalom b'drabanan?
What do you mean?
Well, there's an issur for a person to eat basar b'chalom b'drabanan. The hain. The hain. Milk and chicken. There's no chefetz of basar b'chalom, right? Are you allowed to eat milk and chicken together?
No. Yes, you could. Yes, you could.
I'll eat it. I'll eat it. I'll eat it. You love it. You love it.
That is so good.
I'm not. Chicken little water.
Huh? Cook it. Milk and meat, you're not allowed to cook. Milk and chicken. You're allowed to cook, dude. I'm gonna turn around and rip up all your sneakers. You don't know this. You don't know this. Our sign, but it's my sign. No problem. Why is it that basar b'chalom, the object b'drabanan, the person we ask is b'drabanan? Why don't we make the object the same way? There's an isser bishul. There's a shachila. Yeah, there's made there I go.
Question again. What's up?
Made there upon an asert. The basar b'chalom. Why do you only ask shachila?
Because it's not in way that about it. You just might come to eat meat. That's the problem.
No, but they ask. But once they ask the milk, the chicken, and the milk.
It's going to be.
All my life I had this guy. You know what I mean?
Boys, please.
A person wanted to cook chicken and meat together. No problem. You could do it. There's no problem.
No, come on, let me finish talking.
Let's trade her up on them.
If you
Are you allowed to cook milk and meat together? Are you?